Welcome to the Couch Potato Show. This is a exclusive video that we are pleasantly joined today by Trevon Sanders, former undrafted free agent pick to the Jets and defensive tackle for the LA Wildcats from Troy University. Trevon, how you doing?
What's good, man? What's up with y'all?
Nothing much.
Good.
So, first question I want to ask you is, how'd you get into football, and how'd you start playing football? And then more specifically, like from Charleston, like you grew up in Charleston. How did that bring you to Troy in Alabama?
So starting off, I started playing football. I think when I was like 7, I was playing for like the Pee Wee team, and Danny Jones. And that's kind of when I fell in love with the game. Because I could hit people and not get in trouble with it. So that's kind of where I fell in love with the game. And from there, I just was always successful in football. Growing up, we went to national championships, state championships in a rec league. And then I went to middle school. I went to Military Man Academy where I played football there. I was a starter. I was always bigger than everybody. Even growing up, I was always the biggest guy on the field. So it was kind of easy just to get put on the field. Then high school, it's kind of where I got my real taste of big boy football because I wasn't the biggest guy on the field then. But something I always had was a work ethic. My work ethic got me on the field as a freshman in high school, and I ended up starting maybe 3 or 4 games. And then after that, it really just took off. I started doing extra work going into my sophomore year of high school. With my trainer, Elmona Hamilton, I still work out with him still to this day. And like I said, I really excelled in football from my sophomore year all the way up. I became an all-region, all-state guy, for consecutive years. I was All-State, got the All-State trophy my senior year of high school. I played in the Shrine Bowl at Carolinas, which led me to Troy. So I went to a school that wasn't really known for athletics. It was known for academics and stuff like that. So my performance on the field really got the college coaches kind of looking, but since I didn't go to a school nobody ever heard of, I didn't really have any offers. So I went to go play in the Shrine Bowl at Carolinas, I met Coach Jordan Leslie. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he was the defensive coordinator for Last Chance U. He was their defensive coordinator, and he ended up becoming my defensive line coach at Troy. So he was trying to get me to come to East Mississippi. And my grades didn't qualify. I graduated with a 3.9 GPA in high school. So my grades didn't qualify to go to a JUCO. So Coach Vic Conan, who was at North Carolina then, took the job at Troy, and he just passed my name over. And that's really how I ended up at Troy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
One thing I want to know, if you were to pick like one NFL player that plays in the game today to compare your game to, who would that be and why?
Let's see. I gotta say, my boy, definitely somebody I looked at in college was Steve McClendon. He also still plays for the Jets. He went to Troy as well. He was a guy just like me, undrafted, a guy who they said was shorter, wasn't strong enough. But our production showed on the field, and I mean, he's going on his 11th year in the league, I believe. Year 11 or 12, 1 or 2. But I mean, just a guy coming from the same school with the same background, basically, and he was able to make it that far in the league. I mean, it shows size doesn't matter, height doesn't matter, strength doesn't matter. It's really heart is what it takes to play football.
So for those that don't know, Trevon went undrafted and then signed with the Jets last year, and then went on to get drafted in the XFL by the Wildcats. So what differences and what similarities did you see playing some preseason NFL games and playing in the XFL?
The difference is the XFL. It was definitely a lot more media attention. As far as if you make a play, you have a camera in your face like immediately.
Yeah.
So it really gave the fans a better opportunity to get to know the players. Like we could do more. We have more leeway to do things in the XFL that we couldn't do in the NFL. So all the crazy stuff that you would see like on TV, it was allowed in XFL, which kind of made it fun because people want to see that side. Like you could actually be yourself in the XFL. Like you could do the crazy stuff and you could hear the commentary, the coaches, the players. You heard everything. Whereas in the NFL, I think it shuts off after like 15 seconds. And sometimes you only hear the snap count and maybe the guys up front hitting, but you was able to hear like literally everything. And it just made the game fun, honestly, because you didn't have to, kind of hide and be somebody who you weren't. You could just be yourself, and it was accepted.
In the XFL, did you see a different play style compared to the NFL, or were they mostly similar?
Yeah, the XFL was more of an air raid league. It was more passing than anything. Now, you had some teams like Tampa Bay, and I believe it was St. Louis, who were like the teams who wanted to establish the run game. Right. But ultimately, it was a passing league. But it was fun. I mean, just to go out there and just to showcase your talent still as a pro on a national level on national television, it just was fun. I mean, the fans were crazy. Like, just for it to be the first year of the XFL, I wasn't expecting the turnout of fans that it was. Like, we played Houston for our first game. They sold out all their tickets, and they had to open up the upper deck, and it was, like, actually loud. And it was something I wasn't expecting. But it was fun. I was hurt when Corona happened and, it kind of ended. So, but hopefully it'll come back. It was fun. I heard a lot of good feedback from people in my hometown and just in general over social media. Like they actually love watching football in the XFL. So hopefully it comes back.
Yeah, I mean, I remember this past spring semester I go to Alabama, and I remember that me and my roommates would just sit down on the weekends and just watch XFL games all day long, like it was the NFL. Like there was like it was the same thing.
Right.
And I'm actually, because we're both from New York, New Jersey, so being a Guardians fan, I actually watched your game against the Guardians. I actually remember seeing you make a tackle or two. Right. So that was pretty cool. But
yeah.
What was it? Now you went undrafted to the Jets, so you missed out on the NFL draft. But what was it like getting drafted and drafted XFL?
Just to even be wanted was a big thing for me. Everybody wants to get drafted, but you got to be kind of realistic in this game that we're playing. But like I said, just to be wanted, like after the draft, I got calls from the Ravens, the Jets, and there was a couple other teams. And it was like the Ravens called me first, and then within like 5 seconds of me being on the phone, the Ravens, the Jets called. And I'm on the phone trying to talk to my agent and let them know what's going on, and they're calling and stuff. And that was kind of like my draft because, even though I didn't go through the draft, but I have these teams calling me like, yo, we want you here. Come be a Raven, come be a Jet. And just growing up, that was always my dream, just to play professional football and for my dream just to actually come true. Regardless I got drafted or undrafted, I still can say I played in the NFL. Regardless if it was the preseason, regular season, what it is, I was on the field in the NFL, right? And that's I can say that's a dream come true. Like, not a lot of people just gets the opportunity to even step foot on the NFL field. Right. And I actually did. And it was a fun experience. I wouldn't go back and change anything about it or the situation because everything is a learning experience. like I said, I just was grateful just to be able to have the opportunity to even play in the NFL, man.
Were the Ravens and Jets calling you back, being like, "Hey, we want you"? Like, were the Jets?
Yeah. So
want you back?
The Ravens were the first team to call, and I, without thinking, I was like, "Yes, I'm coming to Baltimore." And then, like I said, within 5 seconds of being on the phone with the Ravens, I hung up, and the Jets called, and I know the guy that called me. He's always at Troy. He called me, was like, "Yo, you gonna come up here and be a Jet? Like, what's up? Like, what you gonna do?" I'm like, because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do because I just told the Ravens I'm going to become a Raven, and then
so you're stuck then, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck in the niche. So I was like, hold on, let me call you back. And I called my agent, and as I'm calling my agent on the phone with him, talking to him, trying to figure out what to do, the Jets called him, and then the Ravens started calling him. Those were the teams that were showing the most interest. And it was kind of maybe a 10-minute circle to whereas it was Jets, Raven, agent, Jets, Raven, and then we ultimately came down with the Jets because of the roster situation. And as far as like I said, Steve McClendon, me and him talk all the time, and just having somebody from Troy who was in your same position and somebody who's willing to help you out and look out for you, because it's a different world. Going from college to the NFL, it's a different world. It's a different stress factor that's on you because you're trying to do everything perfect, be the meetings on time before everybody else, and really showcase like your professionalism on and off the field. Learning the playbook, that was I can definitely say that was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. That playbook was like this thick, and it was a new coaching staff, but the vets had already did like mini camp and stuff, so they kind of had the playbook down. And us rookies and undrafted free agents, even the guys that drafted, they gave us this thick playbook, and it was like confusing as crap. Yeah. So that definitely was the hardest part, transitioning from the college to the NFL, man. But like I said, I got it down, and I don't regret it. It was fun.
Awesome. So I'd like to move into like a modern NFL kind of thing. Where do you see the NFL going with the coronavirus pandemic, and how would they figure out how to play games and do it safely?
It's kind of hard to say right now. Even the NFLPA, because I still keep up with the PA, they're kind of in a jam because the players, they want to play to get paid, but also they don't want to contract the virus and, take it back home to their families. Because, I mean, most of the guys just having babies or have young kids and they have wives and, they have a family. Right. And ultimately those guys don't want to, take the virus back home and infect their own family. So that's kind of the big thing. I don't think the whole fan thing is an issue because I feel like most fans still want to attend the game. Because, I mean, it's okay watching football on TV, but it's nothing like watching football live. I saw something on ESPN the other day where I think Clemson did a study, and most season ticket holders said they don't care about the virus. They still want to come to the games. Yeah. And I feel like that reciprocates the same thing in the NFL. Like, nobody kind of cares about the virus. I mean, yeah, it is serious and big, but when it comes to football, nobody kind of cares about the virus. So, I mean, it just – I feel like everybody just going to have to come together and come to, agreement on some things. And it may take 2 weeks, a month, you never know, because both parties want to be happy. You want the fans happy, well, all three parties. You want the fans happy, you want the owners happy, and the coaches, then you want the players happy who ultimately putting their body on the line. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to say right now, honestly.
So you said that most people would be okay with the virus. Going off of that, would you see players like opting out? Like I know in other leagues, the NBA, MLB, people are opting out. So do you believe that players would opt out with their kids and their families and stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely maybe the older guys, the vets who maybe like 10, 11 years in, like I was saying with Steve, I can't speak for him, but I would think maybe the older guys, because, I mean, they're older, their immune system isn't the same as somebody who's like a rookie, who's me. Like, their body's a little bit banged up and beat up. And, I mean, like I said, they're older. So
they're
maybe the
also
older guys, you know, are maybe guys that got families already, who got kids and wives, and, you know, they're established already. Maybe those guys would be the ones who would, you know, kind of opt out if the situation doesn't look right or they don't feel comfortable with it. So, I mean, really, that's the only people I can really see. But, I mean, you never know. You really can't say who would do it because, I mean, everybody looks at their health and the circumstances of COVID differently.
So with the pandemic, obviously the XFL was cut short. So like, what have you done like yourself to like stay in shape and stay in the mix there of trying to get back onto an NFL roster?
So I've been working out definitely. Just trying to stay in shape. I mean, being a big guy, I hate running. I hate cardio, but it's something you definitely got to do to, you know, stay in shape. So, I mean, really, that's kind of it because it was kind of slim at one point in time in Charleston. All the gyms closed. So I go to Gold's Gym, and they shut down. There wasn't anybody doing any training sessions. So I kind of was just doing things on my own, just off the experience and things that I know I can do, you know, to stay in shape. But other than that, I mean, it's just been trying to stay in shape, man. That's the biggest thing. Not really weightlifting shape, but cardio shape, because that's a big thing. Cardio is something you need.
So if an NFL team were to sign you, what would you think you would bring to that team?
I could definitely say I'm a natural born leader. I feel like it can be taught, but I mean, I always was a leader. I mean, growing up, I was a single child, so I kind of had to step out on faith on my own most of the time because I didn't have a younger or older sibling to, you know, teach me things on my own. So with me, just learning at an early age, and I didn't have my father in my life, so I mean, that kind of elevated me, you know, just to be a natural leader, to speak up for everybody. Like I said, my work ethic. I wasn't always the fastest, the strongest, the most powerful guy, but I always ran to the ball. My work ethic, my ball get off, everything, you know, all tied together made me the player who I am today. And that's something I feel I definitely can bring to the team. And just being a guy, you know, I'm a goofy guy. I like to have fun. You know, just bringing life to the room. I know with the Jets, we had to do some crazy. We had to sing in front of everybody. We had to tell jokes, and like it just, you know, I'm just a goofy person. Like it's kind of hard to like when I first got on the Zoom call, I just was laughing. I'm just goofy like that.
Yeah.
It's just enjoying life, man. But I definitely can. I feel like I can bring a lot to an NFL team.
What'd you sing for the team?
What did I sing? I sung Side Piece. I don't know if you it's by this band in Louisiana, but it's called, if you look it up, it's called Side Piece, and I sung that, and I can't sing at all. Like
no good. You're not any good.
I'm terrible.
Stick
And
to your
like
job?
they booed me off the stage, but it was funny. Like it was fun, bro. Definitely.
That's great.
Awesome. Do you think that your leadership, like you said, you're a big time leader on a team? Do you think that's what helped you get to first team All State high school and then first team All Conference by the time you hit senior year of college?
Yeah. So, just being a leader, man. It's all about taking initiative because some people don't want to take the initiative and do the extra work. But just for me being who I am, like I'm always willing to put in extra work with somebody who needs help, or a guy who just want to get better, or you know, just doing extra work after the weight room. It's all about taking initiative, and some people just don't want to say something or even do it. Most guys will be like, "Oh, I want to do it, but man, I don't feel like that today." It's all about taking initiative and getting everybody on the same page. I was on the leadership council at Troy. my freshman year. I mean, and I've been on there from my freshman year to my sophomore year. And it's just when people see you taking initiative and doing everything right, they tend to follow you, regardless if you're a good player or not. If you're doing everything right and they see you busting your butt in the weight room, on the field, being the best person you can be, I mean, you can't do nothing but respect that person. And I feel like I got the respect just from working my butt off, not just from being a raw, because I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm not a guy to get behind you. I'm going to motivate you. But I got my respect just from being that type of person who I am. And just, I mean, leadership, it's not a role that I always wanted. It's not a role because, like I said, I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm kind of quiet. I'm just goofy on the side. But I didn't want the leadership role. And Coach Brown, he was like, I mean, these guys follow you. And because we voted for leadership council, and it was like I had a plethora of people voting for me to be on the leadership council. I'm like, I mean, I don't do anything. I just do what I'm supposed to do and, come to work every day, and it took me maybe up until halfway through my junior year to really understand, like, a leader comes in all different shapes, forms, and sizes. Like, if you look at a leader, like I look at Obama, like any president or any governor, like those are leaders, And, like I said, it took me a while to realize it, but it being a leader definitely helped me in my career for sure.
Yeah. You just said that there was took a while for you to realize to be a leader. Was there one distinct point where you realized that you have to take that role and lead your team and do what you got to do?
Yeah. So I think it was my junior year. We were on a roll, and then we got to. I forgot what our record was, but that was the year we won a conference championship, and we was undefeated. And then we got to South Alabama, who was our rival. We played App State, and we beat App State that year, I believe. We had a big game, and it was on national TV, and we beat them. Then the next week, we played South Alabama, who was our rivals, and they were terrible that year. And it was a home game, and everybody was up on their high horses, and South Alabama came and kicked out behind. So everybody's morale was up here and it went straight down. Yeah. So at that point, it's not about breaking everybody back down, saying, oh, y'all suck, this and that, you didn't do this and that. It's about telling them, okay, we messed up. It's the next game. Let's move on. And I feel like not just me personally, but with the help of the coaches and my other peers on the leadership council, it really helped bring the morale of the team back up, because it was like we was on our high horses, but we got knocked back down. And then ultimately at the end of the season, we won a conference. We lost 2 games. That was the year I think we lost to Clemson, I believe. It was one of those teams that we lost to early on. But then we were on a roll. And then, like I said, South Alabama was a national TV game. We just had got ranked. First time ever team in the Sun Belt to get ranked. So we were really high, and then we got knocked right back down to reality. And it was a tough loss because South Alabama, I think they won maybe 2 or 3 games that year, and we were one of them. And for them to be our rival, it was pretty bad. But, yeah, just helping the team go back up. That like I said, halfway through my junior year, and just to see how we progress, and we really became real close. Because everybody started speaking up. We started having our own player-only meetings with our coaches, and we as players took it upon ourselves to, make ourselves better and make the team better without the coach having to be on us. And that team right there is the team that, really established Troy to be Troy, and what Troy is today.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. So I want to get to some breaking NFL news today. I want to hear your opinion on the Jamal Adams trade to the Seahawks that just went down, being that you're his former teammate. So what's your opinion on that trade? Yeah, he just got traded.
When?
An hour ago.
I was on Call of Duty, not paying attention.
Now you know. Jamal Adams.
Right, so, hold on. So it was Jamal Adams and a 4th-round pick, and the Seahawks gave up 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick.
Wow.
Live reaction.
Uh, uh, man, I honestly, if I was in that position, Jamal, from what I read and just from that short period of time I was in the locker room, which he wants to be a Jet. He didn't want to go anywhere, and he just expressed he just wanted to be paid more. That's a tough one right there, man. Jamal, I mean, he's a hell of a player, bro. Like, when I say this guy is brain smart and football smart, like, it's just crazy to be watching him on the field and being on the field with him at the same time is crazy. But I mean, that's a tough one. I feel like that's a tough loss for the Jets.
It's a big
loss, they
got,
I think 2 first-round draft picks, you said, and a 4th-round draft pick or something like that.
The third.
It was third, yeah.
Two first and a third.
I mean, they in the long run maybe, but with the Jets trying to rebuild and stuff like that, I feel like Jamal, like, he was a leader in the back end. Like, that was their leader. So, that's – I don't know. I gotta go look into this, man. I didn't even know that.
Now you know, man.
All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So here on the show, we like to do picks every week, and we tally them up and see who's gotten the most amount of picks right. So in the coming weeks, we're gonna start making our picks for the NFL season. But we wanted to get your take first. So I'm gonna ask you for your Super Bowl champion, MVP, and then your offensive and defensive rookie of the years for this year.
That was Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. That's a hard one because I feel like Baltimore's coming back hard. They got a lot to prove. They was on the roll. Nobody could stop. Lamar Jackson is a freak.
Derrick Henry could stop him.
Man, like, and then you got to look at Kansas City as well, who just won a Super Bowl. I mean, they coming back to get another one. I'm gonna have to go with Baltimore with the Super Bowl. I feel like Baltimore's gonna come back with a lot of vengeance. All those guys they're hungry. They want to win a Super Bowl, and then, I gotta go with Baltimore with this one.
All right. What about MVP for this year?
MVP. Let's see. I would have to say. Let's see. Since I didn't give it to Kansas City, I think Mahomes might get MVP. I mean, I think that's only fair. I got to give it to Mahomes.
You got to show him some love.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, some of the throws I've seen this guy make, sidearm, not looking, just on Instagram.
Yeah, it's crazy. He doesn't have to look.
A pass behind his back, and it was like went straight to the dude in stride. I mean, he's a freak too.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
All right, so what about offensive and defensive rookie of the year?
You said rookie of the year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rookies. Let's see. Defensive rookie of the year. Let me see. That's a hard one.
It was a good rookie class this year.
It's this rookie classes.
It's good. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let's come back to that one.
Circle back? Okay.
Yeah. Offensive rookie of the year. Actually, defensive rookie of the year. I think Chase might get it from Ohio State.
For the Redskins, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's a freak. Some of the things he does,
he's insane. It's ridiculous.
You can't teach that. Let's see, offensive. Do I think you guys think any rookie quarterbacks are going to get a chance to showcase? Because I thought Kyler Murray was going to stand out more than what he did last year, but I mean, with him The Cardinals are rebuilding.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of biased with the whole Tua situation, so
yeah,
I would say him. I also
I'd probably go Tua or Joe Burrow. Obviously, is a good pick too. But
yeah.
Because they're going to hand the keys to Joe Burrow. And he can do whatever.
I gotta go with Joe.
Yeah.
I feel like Joe's going to come in and make some noise as well.
Yeah, because they're going to hand him the keys to the entire franchise and say, "Do what you got to do."
Because Joe is, I don't know, that guy's different.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah.
So
definitely, yeah. So I said those are my two. I'm looking for a lot out of Chase Young, just from his production that he had at Ohio State, and I mean he got a lot of people behind him and a lot of pressure on him. So I mean, I feel like he can tone all the pressure out and just play football. He'll do fine. Same thing with Joe Burrow. I mean,
they'll be fine.
Play football.
Enough talent.
Yeah, play football. Do the same thing you did at LSU. Yeah, you're on a different level, better athletes. Play football. You play football.
That you had the most fun with, high school, college, NFL, XFL, one teammate that you had the most fun with. What do you think?
I actually got like two.
You got two? I'll take two. That's fine.
My roommates from college, Darius Rickard and Trevon Sanders, like we did the craziest stuff you could think of. Like I got videos where one of our teammates, Doug Salters, he used to come in our room and fall asleep in our beds for no reason. I got videos of us sleeping him with soap, with powder. I mean, we did everything together. We went to Montgomery, we went to parties. I mean, everything. They're my boys, man. We had a lot of fun though, definitely.
Awesome.
All right, so we got like 6 minutes left on the call. So I'm gonna wrap it up with this question. What is your craziest college story?
Craziest college story.
No, you got a good one. Let's hear it.
Let's see. Craziest college story. Man. That's hard. That's a hard one.
We ask the hard-hitting questions only. We only ask good questions.
I think it was my freshman year, and it was like my first time drinking. I don't condone drinking underage, but I did it. And
college, who cares?
I was out of there. I was in a whole nother dimension, and I was fine. And then it was like that last sip, it took me over the edge, and like they said I was throwing up everywhere. I had my face in a toilet. Like, it was crazy. I think that's the craziest thing the craziest moment. Ever since then, I never got that way again. Like,
never, one time was enough. Never again.
One time, I could, and it was like I woke up and couldn't remember.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't remember anything.
You had to see it from videos and pictures. Like,
yeah,
you did that.
Like, pictures of the bathroom, and I think it was like $1 drink night or something like that. So all the drinks were $1.
Oh, that's when you know.
You go there with $20 and
you're good to go.
Like $10 in, and you like, woo, what's that? But yeah, I think that's one of the my freshman year, just starting off, that was the craziest thing I ever did in college.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up for the episode. And thanks again. This was amazing. Thanks again.
Really appreciate it.
Man, hey, I definitely appreciate y'all for reaching out. Give me the opportunity to even speak to y'all and do an interview with you guys, podcast, man. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, it's an honor.
Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Nice meeting y'all.
Yep. See you later.
All right, bro.